Hi, Seth. Can you hear me okay? All right, awesome. Okay, so we just have the contractor that's not here, but we can let him in if he joins us late, and I'll email you the sign-in list, and we are ready to go on my end. David, are you ready? Hi, Seth.
Yep, I'm all set.
All right. Let's get started. Good afternoon. My name is Tim Voss. I'm the chair of the Historic Conservation Board. I'd like to take a minute to remind everyone about the rules of this proceeding. This proceeding is at all times governed by the rules of procedure adopted by the board on September 26, 2011, amended March 23rd, 2015, last amended March 9th, 2020. A copy of the rules of procedure is available for review online. All those planning to testify today, which does not include those solely making arguments such as attorneys, will be asked to take an oath administered by the board's attorney when they testify. This is a quasi-judicial hearing. As such, the board reserves the right to deliberate in private. The Ohio rules of evidence do not apply to this hearing. However, professional rules of conduct do apply, and candor to the tribunal is required. The board members are citizen volunteers and are not paid for their service. They are treated as public officials under Ohio law, and any attempt to influence them, including but not limited to bribery, intimidation, retaliation, which may include contacting their employer in an attempt to exert influence, is punishable as a crime. All should be aware that this meeting is being tape recorded. Therefore, please speak clearly into your microphone, state your name and address for the record. In the event of any technical difficulties with the video conferencing technology, I may continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion. All participants providing testimony must have both camera and audio features turned on in order to participate. All right, with that, we'll proceed to the first item, 5910 Hamilton Avenue. Ms. Johnson.
Yes, 5910 Hamilton Avenue is within the College Hill Historic District. It is this white building that's kind of canted from the street. There has already previously been work approved on the building at a staff level for rehabilitation of the building and actually the physical work on the outdoor area. However, there are some zoning issues that have brought them to the board today. So specifically, they will need zoning relief to permit an eating and drinking establishment with alcoholic beverage sales, a permit for an outdoor area within 100 feet of a T3 transect, which is a residential district, a use permit for an outdoor eating and drinking area for an area that is greater than 50% of the interior area, or an outdoor area that is within 500 feet of a T3 transect zone, and then a use permit for outdoor entertainment within 500 feet of a T3 transect zone. So this map here, the blue in the center is the property. The green circle or oval around it is the 100-foot boundary. And so this property right here is the T3 zone. I just do want to remind the board that a use permit is the term that we use for conditional use within the form code area. And so that's the zoning districts, the T3 and T5MS are with the form code. So a use permit is not a use variance. It is a condition. It's basically the equivalent of a conditional use. So all of the requests that they are asking are the equivalent of what would be considered a conditional use in the other zoning districts. T3N is a residential district, and so that is what is triggering the conditional use or use permit review. So again, 5910 Hamilton Avenue is a contributing building within the College Hill Mid-Business Historic District. It's a two-story mixed-use building with commercial on the first floor. It's a long building with an adjacent pedestrian alley, and it's within the T5MS form-based code, and again, is located within 100 feet of a residential district. The request that they are asking for is, again, all of the work on the building has already previously been approved through a staff review. Everything was rehabilitation, like for like, and stuff that was able to be approved at a staff level. What they are requesting is this outdoor dining area. Again, the physical improvements to with the deck and the dining were approved at staff level. And so what they are asking is strictly for the zoning uses. So again, the building is being rehabilitated as a restaurant, and it's retaining its historic features on the facade. And the interest of historic conservation is to reuse this building as a commercial and mixed-use building. And while the denial would not, the denial of the use would not create any sort of, would not deprive the building of its economically viable use, as the building is a fairly small building, being able to provide sufficient outdoor space does help provide a better economic environment for this building. They're also asking for similar use to what has been approved on adjacent or nearby properties. For example, the Sleepy Bee came in front of the board early last year in 2021. And that again asked for an outdoor area as well as alcohol sales and beverages. And I believe that is just 1 or 2 properties to the north. Again, this is surrounded by other properties that have similar uses with alcohol sales as well as with outdoor areas. There is minimal impact on the neighboring properties. There is a large parking lot in the rear, and there are some limited, but there is some landscaping on the rear that does provide a buffer towards the residential uses to the east. And so with that, staff does make the following recommendations. We recommend to approve the use permit for eating and drinking establishment with alcoholic beverage sales, to approve the use permit for an outdoor area within 100 feet of a T3 Transact zone, to approve a use permit for outdoor eating and drinking area greater than 50% of the interior area within 500 feet of a T3 Transact, and approve the use permit for outdoor entertainment within 500 feet of a T3 Transact zone.
Thank you very much. All right. We have, let's see, John Stoughton is the applicant.
Mr. Stoughton, would you like to provide some testimony?
I'm okay with how Beth presented the project. I'm fine with that presentation.
Okay. And Seth Walsh, the owner, do you feel the same way?
I do.
All right. Well, those are the people we have checked in and signed up. Are there any questions from the board members for staff or the applicant?
I do have a question. I noted it was outside the scope, but who owns the parking lot? Looks like it crosses several properties.
The parking lot is owned by various owners that are all tied back to my organization, the College Hill CORC. And there's an easement that goes over it, so it'll be a parking lot in perpetuity.
Okay, thank you.
And the parking lot is there and it serves the businesses that are in front.
Sure.
Any other questions or comments? Absent that, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the zoning relief as laid out by staff.
I will second that. We have a motion and a second. Mr. Sunderman,
Aye.
Ms. McKenzie,
Aye.
Ms. Smith Dobbins, Mr. Weiss,
Aye.
Mr. Zelasco,
Aye.
the chair votes aye. The matter is approved. Do we have January staff level approvals? Is that correct?
Yes.
I will move that we approve the January staff level approvals. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Sunderman,
Aye.
Ms. McKenzie,
Aye.
Mr. Weiss,
Aye.
Mr. Zelasco,
Aye.
the chair votes aye. January staff level approvals are approved.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, I know we've already voted this in. I did have a question on the third page. One of those items had, it was acceptable to paint the brick. Do you remember that one?
Yes, so that was one, there was significant damage and we had a mason go out and look at the brick and do a determination, and there had been significant water damage and spalling of the brick on a facade. And so our standards do allow, if a certain percentage is damaged, to be able to provide protection to the brick, that painting is permitted at that point.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any other business? All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Move. Good. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.